Hi, I'm Mike Callicrate at Ranch Foods Direct in Colorado Springs. We've been discussing the challenges of cheap imports, below cost of production beef imports in the United States, and how that poses a real problem for small plants like us. These imports are coming in as low as half the cost of production of U.S. producers. So I think it's important to understand from the corporation's perspective, how do they view imports, and also to understand how IBP and Bob Peterson, clear back in '96, how he formed the policy at the National Cattlemen's Beef Association to not think imports were a problem at all.
I'd like to ask Mr. Peterson, he said that they strictly exported, they weren't importing any cattle. What do you call that coming down I-29 over there going to Dakota City? All them trucks out of Canada?
I didn't understand.
You said
You indicated you don't import meat, you export meat, and they want to know what is, I think he's basically talking about the Canadian cattle, the Canadian hogs that are coming down the interstate to Dakota City and your hog processing plants.
We do that.
Isn't that what you're asking? Yeah.
Yes, that's right. We do buy cattle in Canada and bring them to Pasco, Washington, and Dakota City, Nebraska.
That is called importing.
That to me is not imports.
Now you see my distinction between interstate trade and intra-organizational trade.
Just a second. Bob, why wouldn't you, and I think we're dealing with a distinction without a difference, why wouldn't you call meat that's brought from another country into America an import? Is this a trade term you're using, or?
No, not really, Governor. I look at cattle as a source of raw material and buy them wherever you can to make the product that you've got to sell. And if you want to call that import, call it import. But I call it sourcing of cattle. What I call import is what you bring in that's finished into this country, not the Canadian cattle.
So what just so I understand you, what you're calling an import is something that somebody else processed elsewhere and ships down here ready to be sold, as opposed to ready to be processed.
That's right.
All right.
That's exactly right.